You can just delete ICE agents. You know that? You can just delete. You don't have to hold your phone in their face and ask people when their birthday is and ask people what their name is and then try to find wherever they end up in Los Angeles. You can delete them. This isn't about social media clout anymore. This isn't about video. This isn't about the phone. This is about get a pew-pew and start deleting ICE agents. They are deputized corrections officers. Delete them.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are of them. If you see an ICE officer, stomp them the out.
Actually, there are more of us, MAGA folks, than there are of you.
ICE agents without visible IDs, without any official markings on them, with masks, they're acting more like vigilantes than of agents of our government. How can we even trust that these are government officials? It's nothing more than kidnapping.
What?
Let me ask you a question, Mr. President. Why do the federal ICE agents wear masks covering their face? If they're not ashamed of what they're doing and they're not doing anything illegal, why are they wearing masks covering their identity? Don't the American people have a right to see who they are? Are they a new form of secret police? Tell the ICE agents take off their masks, Mr. President. The American people have a right to know who they are.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
The left has been doxing ICE agents, so in return, the ICE agents have started wearing masks so they could hide their identity to protect themselves and their families. Well, now, in a hilarious turn of events, the left have now become anti-maskers. They are now pushing the No Secret Police Act, which would require federal and state enforcement officers to not wear masks. Well, good luck with that, because the last time I checked, state lawmakers don't exactly get to tell federal officers what to do. It's kind of like putting a tiger on a leash and trying to force it into the tub to take a bath.
Over the last month, Donald Trump has militarized civil immigration enforcement to create fear and intimidation among so many different communities, to evade accountability for officers, and to just jack up deportation numbers with nonviolent, non-criminal immigrants going through the process the right way. This is authoritarian, militarized secret police. This is not what you see in a democratic government.
Right.
And they're not just doing this with courts. They're doing this on playgrounds. They're doing this in places of work. They're doing this in schools. They are going after moms and dads and families who are trying to do things the right way. And they're doing it with these authoritarian tactics that resemble Soviet Russia more than they resemble a democratic United States. And so I, along with my New York City colleague, Adriano Espaillat, are introducing the No Secrets Police Act, which would get rid of masks, would require all agents to show their identification and insignia, and ensure accountability for these horrible, horrible policies. This bill will make sure that there are no more secret police in this country.
Find someone who loves you as much as a Democrat loves a foreign gang member. This whole ban ICE from wearing masks thing is not about transparency, safety, or civil rights. It's political theater dressed up as legislation. They know full well they can't regulate federal officers. That's civics 101. No, their real goal is to stir up outrage so that they can make it look like they're doing something. That way, when Trump ignores it, which basically he should, they can say, oh, he thinks he's a king, he's a felon, he doesn't care about the law, he thinks he's above state laws. when literally federal law is above state law. So no, this is not about protecting people. This is setting the stage to make President Trump look like a tyrant, all the while pretending that your own overreach is justice.
Call for federal agents to unmask themselves. We've been seeing ICE make arrests across California, and that includes here in the Bay Area. Now, some state lawmakers want those officers to take off the masks and reveal themselves. Our Kevin Coe has more on the new ban that they're proposing and why local law enforcement is against it.
As protesters clashed with federal agents making arrests at Concord Immigration Court last Tuesday, our cameras caught this exchange. East Bay attorney Ali Saidi pushing the agents for information.
We're just asking for badge numbers. So we report to the San Francisco Division of the FBI. Okay. You're more than welcome to call the San Francisco Division's office and ask for the folks that are here today. We're just assisting ICE and this law enforcement operation.
Ew, shame.
One of many other protesters in the crowd would later chime in, demanding the federal agents identify themselves.
Show us your face, coward!
ICE agents and other law enforcement officials have been seen wearing face coverings during immigration raids, as well as the recent anti-ICE protest in Los Angeles. State Senator Scott Wiener says the secrecy is adding to the fear spreading throughout communities.
It is tearing apart communities. It's causing chaos, and it is a growing problem.
He and State Senator Jesse Arreguín introduced Bill 627, named the No Secret Police Act, aimed at increasing transparency and accountability among law enforcement. If passed, California would be the first state to prohibit state, local, and federal officers from covering their faces while conducting operations. It also requires officers to be identifiable by their uniform, whether it's a name or a badge number.
There are a lot of people who are engaged in these enforcement actions, and we don't know, are they federal, are they contractors, are they local law enforcement?
This is a very normal thing when San Francisco police officers, when you see them walking around, they have their name, they have their badge number, and that is a typical normal practice for law enforcement, and we're seeing that practice start to fade away. We're really at risk of having effectively secret police in this country. Law enforcement that you can't even identify who they are, what agency they're with.
Officers who don't comply could be charged with a misdemeanor.
The feds are just going to ignore it. And then what?
Former FBI agent Jeff Harp says some federal agents need face coverings for tactical purposes.
I mean, that's like saying that you're going to make federal law enforcement use a weapon that's on the California approved list to carry out the duties of their job. They don't do that.
Last week, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem defended the face coverings as necessary protection for law enforcement.
People have questioned why they have their faces covered. It's for the safety of those individuals or the work that they're doing as far as protecting their identity so they can continue to do investigative work.
Republicans say the mask can prevent law enforcement officers from being doxxed when their home addresses or other personal information is shared online. The bill is also getting pushback from local law enforcement.
Go to Washington. It's not something that the state of California has to deal with.
Lieutenant Tracy McCray, president of the San Francisco Police Officers Association, says it unnecessarily targets local law enforcement agencies who are under state sanctuary laws that prohibit them from participating in immigration operations anyway.
To me, it was hastily written. It was written from a very emotional standpoint, right? Because yes, no one wants to see anyone dragged off the street, right? And you don't know who by what, but we're not doing that, right? That's not the San Francisco Police Department.
Harmeet Dillon, the Assistant Attorney General for the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, responded to the proposal today, saying that states can't regulate what federal law enforcement wears. Meanwhile, another federal proposal would prohibit ICE or Customs and Border Patrol agents from wearing any clothing with the word police. North Bay Congressman Mike Thompson, one of the sponsors of that bill, says local law enforcement have asked for the change. He says suggesting that ICE officers are members of local police forces undermines their relationship with immigrant communities that they serve.
This is just in, out of California. All federal agents will now have to uncover their masks, issuing a new bill stating that all federal agents, ICE agents, bounty hunters will now have to uncover their masks and show their faces. All mayor, governor, House of Representatives, different forms of government in the state of California have now pushed this bill through and is stating that all agents must remove their masks. No one is allowed to show up without masks. No one is allowed to not say anything. It's time for the world to know who these people are. They're not allowed to walk around our neighborhoods and act like everything's okay. Especially when they're only getting paid and not caring about the process or the people or our families or our children or a whole community of immigrants. Great win for the state of California. Keep up the fight. Keep up the push. Stay strong and hold that resistance.
Oh, that's a lie. You just lie.
You can use my buy me a coffee link to buy Leroy a dog treat. Leroy, stop that. You're so cute. Oh, I love you. I love you. You guys steal the show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Red Dawn Daily with your host, me, Dawn Marie, and sometimes Leroy. Leroy, you're not bored, are you? Leroy, did you know that 9 out of 10 people only watch to see you? Yeah. I'm just kind of here holding space for you. It's true. It's true. Leroy, you're so much fun. You're way more fun than any puppet. Right, Leroy?